You felt it before, that sudden, inexplicable surge of competence in a field you've never studied. The way your fingers move across a piano as if they've known the ivory for centuries, or the way you understand the alignment of the stars without ever opening a book on astronomy. What if I told you that talent is a myth? What if what we call a natural gift is actually a leak in the veil? Most people walk through this life believing they started with a blank slate, a tabula rasa. But you know better. You felt the phantom weight of tools you no longer carry. You've spoken languages in your dreams that no longer exist on any modern map. You've looked at ancient ruins and felt a pang of homesickness so sharp it brought tears to your eyes, not because of the beauty, but because of the recognition. In the deep somnambulistic states of Dolores Cannon's sessions, a truth began to emerge, a truth so vast it shatters our understanding of education and aptitude. She found that the subconscious, or the higher self, keeps a meticulous record of every mastery you have ever achieved across the span of eons. You are not a student here. You are an expert in a temporary amnesia. Have you ever wondered why some children are prodigies? Why a 5-year-old can sit at a canvas and paint with the perspective of a Renaissance master? The world calls it a miracle. The archives call it retrieval. We are living in a time that Dolores called the Great Transition. The rules of the game are changing. The veil that usually keeps our past life identities separate is thinning, becoming porous. For many of you watching this, the skills you once possessed in civilizations long turned to dust. Atlantis, Lemuria, and even worlds beyond this solar system are starting to bleed through into your modern reality. Why now? Because you didn't come here to be ordinary. You didn't come here to start from scratch. You are a volunteer, and you brought your specialized equipment with you. You felt the restlessness, haven't you? The sense that you are meant to be doing something more, even if you can't put a name to it. That restlessness is the master artisan inside you, waking up in a world that has forgotten how to use its tools. Today, we step into the library of your own eternal expertise. We are going to decode the signs that your ancient spills are resurfacing. We are going to explore why your hobbies are actually echoes of your soul's greatest achievements. This is not a lesson. This is an awakening. You aren't learning. You are remembering. Welcome to Awakening Archives. I am your guide through the forgotten corridors of quantum consciousness and the profound teachings of Dolores Cannon. Here, we do not just recount stories, we bridge the gap between the pioneering regressions of the convoluted universe and the life you are living right now. Our mission is to assist in the recollecting of the soul. We dive deep into the transcripts of QHHT, quantum healing hypnosis technique, to find the blueprints of our collective evolution. If you feel the call to move beyond the three-dimensional illusions of this world and reclaim your multi-dimensional heritage, you are in the right place. I invite you to join our circle of remembrance. Subscribe and turn on the notifications, not to follow a teacher, but to walk alongside a peer in the unfolding of the new earth. By the end of this transmission, you will understand the specific mechanics of spontaneous skill retrieval. We will explore the way ancient mastery manifests in a modern body and how to distinguish between a passing interest and a soul-deep vocation. We will also reveal the star seed trigger, a specific emotional state that activates dormant DNA, allowing you to download complex information from your own higher self. Stay with me, for we are about to reveal the hidden reason why you were born with the specific interests you have today. In her seminal work, The 3 Waves of Volunteers and the New Earth, Dolores Cannon described a phenomenon where souls from other dimensions or previous golden ages of Earth incarnate with a specific set of built-in instructions. When a soul prepares for an incarnation, it sits with its guides and the subconscious to decide which attributes will be most beneficial for the upcoming life. However, for those of you who are volunteers, the process is slightly different. You weren't coming here to pay off karmic debt. You were coming here to assist in a frequency shift. To do this, you were allowed to carry over specific seed skills. Think of your soul as a vast library. You couldn't bring the whole library into a human brain. The physical organ would simply short circuit. Instead, you chose condensed files. Some of you find yourselves inexorably drawn to crystals or masonry. You know how to talk to the rocks. This is an echo of the ancient Egyptian or Atlantean mastery, where sound was used to manipulate the density of stone. Some of you walk into a forest and feel the plants speaking to you. You know which leaf heals and which root harms before you ever pick up a botany book. This is the carryover from lives in the hidden schools of Earth's earlier, more harmonious eras. It is a quiet knowing that bypasses the intellect entirely. How does a skill from 10,000 years ago manifest in a world of smartphones and skyscrapers? Dolores taught us that time is not a line, but a simultaneous now. Your past self isn't gone. They are technically still existing in another layer of the great tapestry. Sometimes the energetic frequency of your current life matches the frequency of a past mastery, and a bleed-through occurs. Have you ever heard a foreign language and felt your heart skip a beat? Not because it sounded pretty, but because your tongue felt like it should know how to form those words. This is the somatic memory of a previous life's primary communication. Dolores often spoke of the backdrop people versus the souled beings. Souled beings often have an obsession with patterns. If you find yourself drawing sacred geometry or understanding complex systems effortlessly, you are tapping into the quantum mirror. You are seeing the underlying math of the universe that you once used to navigate the stars. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between a memory of yesterday and a memory of 1,000 years ago. When the conditions are right, the floodgates open. This is why you might suddenly possess a sophisticated understanding of herbalism, or why you can look at a broken machine and see the flow of energy required to fix it. These are not new talents. They are old habits of the soul resurfacing to meet the needs of a changing world. In the thousands of QHHT sessions recorded by Dolores, the subconscious often explained that the human brain is like a biological computer. For centuries, this computer has been running on limited bandwidth, capable of processing only the three-dimensional survival data needed for a dense incarnation. But something has changed. The Earth has entered a region of space, a belt of high-frequency light that is literally upgrading our hardware. Many of you are experiencing what Dolores called the Great Tuning. This is why your ancient skills are reappearing so suddenly. It isn't just that you are remembering, it's that your biological computer finally has the processing power to run the advanced software of your past life masteries. You are no longer limited by the density of the old grid. As the planet's frequency rises, your DNA begins to respond to higher order instructions. We must discard the idea of past lives. In the higher dimensions where Dolores' subjects traveled, time is not a line, it is a tapestry. You are not remembering a person who died long ago. You are tuning into a version of yourself that is currently practicing that skill in a parallel frequency. Think of it as a radio. For most of this life, you have been tuned to the human 3D station, but lately you've been catching static, fragments of melody from a different station. That static is your ancient skill. When you sit down to draw, or when you instinctively know how to calibrate an instrument you've never seen, you are phasing your consciousness. You are overlapping your current self with your master self. Recognition of these reappearing skills often starts with the time dilation effect. When you practice this skill, time ceases to exist. You enter a state of superconsciousness where hours feel like minutes. This is because you have aligned your current vibration with the eternal vibration of that mastery. Beyond this, look for unearned intuition. You know the next step in a process without being told. You see the finished product before the first move is made. You might also notice the dream laboratory. You spend your nights in a classroom. Many of you wake up exhausted because your soul has been practicing in the higher dimensions, refining the skill so it can be used in the physical world the next day. There is also a physical component to this remembrance. You may feel a buzzing in the crown of your head or a warmth in your hands when you engage with your true calling. This is the energy of the subconscious moving through the physical vessel. It is the literal light of your soul's history being converted into neurological signals. Do not dismiss these sensations as mere imagination. They are the physical evidence of your multidimensionality. We must address a painful truth found in the QHHTT transcripts. Many of you felt like failures in school. You were told you had learning disabilities or that you couldn't focus. The archives reveal a different story. You didn't have a learning disability, you had a compatibility issue. Your soul already knew the advanced version of the subjects they were trying to teach you in their most basic distorted forms. Trying to teach an ancient master of mathematics the Common Core is like trying to teach an F-16 pilot how to ride a tricycle. The boredom you felt was actually grief. It was the soul mourning the loss of its advanced tools. If you have spent your life feeling less than because you didn't fit the mold, I am here to tell you that the mold was too small for the library you carry. You were not unteachable, you were overqualified. Your soul remembers a time when learning was done through direct transmission, where knowledge was absorbed through the heart and the third eye rather than through the rote memorization of dry facts. This is why you struggle with modern systems, but excel when you are left alone to follow your intuition. You are returning to the ancient way of knowing. Here is the revelation that sits at the heart of the awakening archives. The most powerful skill reappearing on Earth right now is the ability to hold a frequency of peace in the midst of chaos. This is not a personality trait. It is a highly advanced, ancient technology. In the transcripts of The Convoluted Universe, Dolores encountered entities who explained that in the high civilizations of our past, construction was done through the heart center. We didn't build a temple, we resonated it into existence. If you are a person who people are naturally drawn to when they are in pain, if you are the one who stays calm when the world seems to be falling apart, you are utilizing the skill of the anchor. You were trained in the halls of learning between lives to be a frequency stabilizer. Your reappearing skill is the ability to manipulate the energetic field of a room simply by being in it. This is why you feel different from others. This is why you feel like an observer. You aren't here to do as much as you are here to be. Your presence is the skill. Your vibration is the tool. The skills of the 5D Earth are returning. You might find yourself suddenly able to heal with your hands, or see auras, or know the future. Do not be afraid. These are not superpowers. They are the natural attributes of the human soul that were suppressed for thousands of years. The archives of time are opening within your DNA. You are the architect, the healer, and the sage, all woven together into one modern human form. The tools are in your hands. Now you must simply remember how to use them. You are being reactivated because you are the backup system. When the world forgets how to heal, the herbalists of Ireland and the healers of Lemuria will wake up in modern bodies. When the world forgets how to build in harmony with nature, the architects of the grid will wake up. You are a time capsule. Time to open now. The mastery you feel bubbling beneath the surface is the answer to the world's current crisis. You do not need to seek out your purpose. You simply need to allow the master you already are to take the lead. To understand why these ancient skills are returning with such intensity, we must look into the deeper mechanics of the New Earth frequency that Dolores Cannon spent her final years documenting. She discovered that as the planet's vibration shifts, we are moving out of the era of learning and into the era of direct knowing. In the old three-dimensional world, if you wanted to become a master of a craft, you had to spend decades in apprenticeship, slowly moving from ignorance to competence. This was part of the density, the heavy, sluggish nature of the world we were living in. But as the vibration of the planet accelerates, that density is breaking apart. We are entering a phase of human evolution where the time between intent and manifestation is shrinking. This means that the distance between your current self and your master self is also disappearing. The skills you are seeing reappear are not just memories of things you once did. They are the active resonance of who you are. Dolores often explained that our souls are like vast prisms, and each life is just one ray of light passing through that prism. For most of our history on this planet, we have been focused on only one ray at a time. We were told that we were just this person with this name in this body, but the prism is starting to turn. As it turns, the other rays of light, the other masteries you have cultivated, begin to overlap with your current reality. This is why you feel like you have multiple personalities or contradictory interests. You are the architect and the dancer. You are the scientist and the mystic. You are not meant to choose between them. You are meant to integrate them into a singular, multi-dimensional expression. The role of the subconscious as the archivist. When Dolores Cannon spoke of the subconscious, she wasn't talking about the Freudian shadow or the place where we hide our fears. She was talking about the oversoul, the part of you that remains in the light, watching over all your incarnations simultaneously. This archivist within you is the one who decides when a skill is ready to be released. It waits for the moment your ego is stable enough to handle the power. Many of you have been frustrated, feeling as though your gifts are being withheld from you. You may have asked the universe for your purpose over and over, only to be met with silence. But the silence was not a denial, it was a preparation. The archivist knows that if you were given all your ancient power at once, your physical body would be overwhelmed. The nervous system must be tempered like steel in a forge to hold the high voltage energy of your true self. The symptoms many of you have been feeling, the sudden fatigue, the ringing in the ears, the sensitivity to light and sound, are the physical signs that your archivist is rewiring your vessel. Each time you experience one of these shifts, a new folder in your internal archive is being opened. You might wake up the next morning with a sudden clarity about a project you've been stuck on for months. You might find that your hands move with a new precision, or that your voice carries a resonance it never had before. This is the integration of the master. The language of symbols and the return of telepathy. One of the most profound skills returning to the volunteers is the ability to communicate through symbols and direct thought transfer. Dolores found that in many of the civilizations we remember, especially those that were not originally from Earth, spoken language was considered a crude and inefficient way to exchange information. It was too easy for words to be misunderstood or manipulated. Instead, these cultures used image packets. They would think of an entire concept, complete with its emotional weight and historical context, and beam it to another person. If you find that you struggle with words, if you often feel that there are no words for what you are experiencing, it is because your soul is returning to this higher form of communication. You are beginning to think in holographic symbols rather than linear sentences. This is why many of you are drawn to art, sacred geometry, or complex digital systems. These are the modern mirrors for your ancient telepathic abilities. You are learning to read the field of information around people rather than listening to what they say. You are remembering how to perceive the truth behind the mask. This skill is essential for the transition into the new earth. In a higher frequency world, there can be no secrets. Transparency is the natural state of being. By remembering your ability to read energy and symbols now, you are practicing for the world that is being born. You are learning how to be an honest creator in a world of light. Do not be frustrated when you cannot find the right word. Instead, close your eyes and see the image. Feel the frequency of the concept you want to convey. You will find that people begin to understand you on a level that transcends speech. The healing power of the ancient hands. Perhaps the most common skill reappearing among the three waves is the spontaneous activation of the hands. Dolores's work is filled with accounts of ordinary people who suddenly felt their palms heat up or begin to vibrate. This is the return of the ancient technology of pranic reordering. Your hands are extensions of your heart center, and your heart center is a portal to the infinite energy of the source. In previous lives, you may have used this energy to mend bones, to soothe the nervous system, or even to adjust the DNA of a growing plant. As you remember this skill, you may find that you have a compulsion to touch things. You may want to put your hands on the earth, on a tree, or on a person who is suffering. This isn't just a gesture of comfort. It is a biological function. You are acting as a conductor for the life force energy that the planet is currently being flooded with. You are taking that raw, unmanifested light and stepping it down into a frequency that the physical world can absorb. You don't need a certificate or a degree to do this. You simply need to remember that it is your natural state. When your hands heat up, do not doubt it. Do not look for a logical explanation. Simply allow the light to flow. You are an ancient healer who has finally been given back their instruments. The responsibility of the awakened master. With the return of these skills comes a deep responsibility. Dolores was very clear that these gifts are not for the glorification of the ego. They are not meant to make you better than anyone else. In fact, the more of your ancient mastery you reclaim, the more humble you must become. These skills are tools for service. You brought them here to help the sleepers wake up without fear. You brought them here to build the structures, the gardens, the schools, the healing centers that will be needed as the old world continues to transform. If you find yourself gaining wealth or influence through your reappearing skills, remember that the energy must flow. In the ancient world, the master was the one who served the whole. There was no concept of intellectual property or exclusive rights to a healing technique. Knowledge was a river that belonged to everyone. As you step into your power, stay grounded in the heart. Use your geometric intuition to design better systems for everyone. Use your frequency keeping to stabilize your community. Use your star memory to remind people that we are a galactic family. The convergence of the timelines. We are nearing the point of convergence. The convoluted universe is not just a book title, it is a description of the reality we are now entering. The lines between what was, what is, and what will be are blurring into a single radiant moment of presence. Your ancient skills are the bridge. They are the evidence that you have survived everything the universe has thrown at you. You have been through the rise and fall of empires. You have seen planets born and stars die. And through it all, you have carried these masteries in the quiet corners of your soul. You are the witness of the ages. The fact that you are here in a body in 2026 reading these words is a testament to your strength. You did not come here to be a victim of change. You came here to be the architect of it. Every time you pick up a tool and find that you already know how to use it, you are proving that the soul is indestructible. You are proving that love and mastery are the only things we truly take with us when we leave. The archives are not outside of you. They are not in a book or a library or a distant temple. They are in the rhythm of your breath. They are in the sparkle of your eyes when you speak about your passions. They are in the way you move through the world with a quiet authority that you cannot explain. You are the awakening archive. Every step you take on this earth is a reactivation of the sacred grid. Every time you remember, the whole universe celebrates. The final integration. As we move into the final stages of this transmission, I want you to feel the weight of your own history, not as a burden, but as a foundation. Feel the thousands of years of experience pressing into the soles of your feet. Feel the wisdom of 100 lifetimes sitting in your chest. You are not starting over. You are continuing a journey that began long before this sun was born. The skills that are reappearing in your life are the invitation. They are the universe saying, it is time. It is time to stop playing small. It is time to stop pretending that you are just a human being with a job and a set of bills. You are a master. You are an ancient. You are a volunteer, and the world has never needed your mastery more than it does right now. Do not wait for permission. Do not wait for a sign more clear than the one you are feeling in your heart at this very second. The mastery is yours. It always was. You just had to go through the experience of forgetting so that the remembering would be the greatest joy you have ever known. The call to the collective. There are millions of us. We are scattered across every continent, in every profession, in every walk of life. We are the undercover agents of the new earth. And as our skills return, we are beginning to recognize each other. We see the light in the eyes. We hear the resonance in the voice. We are forming a global network of remembered mastery. When you see someone else excelling in their gift, do not feel envious. Feel the resonance. Their awakening is a signal that your awakening is safe. Their mastery is a piece of the puzzle that fits with yours. Together, we are building a mosaic of consciousness that will change the face of this planet forever. Stay in the wonder. Stay in the curiosity. The archives are deep, and we have only just begun to turn the first few pages. There is so much more to remember. There are worlds within you that you haven't even glimpsed yet, but they are coming. One breath, one memory, one skill at a time. Stay aware. Stay awakened, and remember, you have already won. The mastery is already achieved. You are just here to enjoy the show. Do you feel the resonance? Is there a skill, a hobby, or a strange knowing that has been haunting you lately? I want you to speak it into the physical realm. Comment below. Tell us, I am remembering my mastery. Share the strange coincidences that have led you back to your ancient passions. When we share these stories, we strengthen the grid of the new earth. We help others realize they aren't alone in their strangeness. If this journey into the archives has stirred your soul, please like this transmission and share it with someone who feels lost in this world. They may just be a master who has forgotten their tools. Subscribe to Awakening Archives as we continue to decode the messages left for us by Dolores Cannon and the Higher Self. Every like and comment tells the universe that you are ready for the next level of remembrance. The veil is thinning and the archives of your soul are wide open. Do not be afraid of your own brilliance. You have traveled across galaxies and eons to be here at this very moment in this very body. You are a volunteer. You are a master. You are a piece of the divine, remembering its own power. Stay aware, stay awakened, and remember, the new earth is not a place you are going to. It is a frequency you are bringing back. The library is inside you, and the doors are finally unlocked. Until our next recollection, walk in the light of your own eternal wisdom.